This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in association with William Hill Empire Fight Store. Kingpin, high stakes tournament here. Adam Brooks, how do you see this event, mate?
Look, it's fantastic. I mean, again, I did an interview last week about crossover boxing, influencer boxing. My kid, he's 13, Artie, he absolutely loves it, you know, and I think it's doing great for the sport. This is entertainment stroke sport, and it's bringing new blood into the viewing figures. And again, my boy will always ask to come to a show like this or Misfits. He would never go to a pro show, so that's a good thing for the sport, you know.
Obviously you are a journalist, you must understand the dangers with something like this. Do you understand that sort of element with this?
No, in what respect, the dangers?
In terms of, I don't know if it's being regulated in terms of drugs or the weight category. I mean, some of the fights even this evening, you'd see some of the matchups. Yeah, there must be an element of that. It's like white collar boxing, isn't it? I guess.
No, from what I understand, the weight classes are set. The fighters have agreed to that. So I think on the night, you know, it's going to be within a set range. I mean, I'm looking at some of the girl fighters. Some are up here. You know, some have got muscles a lot bigger than mine as well, and some are down here. So look, this is entertainment. I believe, you know, as like Misfits as well, it's well regulated, and I think that, you know, they've got professionals reffing. They've got professionals around it. And look, first and foremost, this is entertainment. And I think it's great entertainment. I keep going on about my kid loving it. I think I'm starting to love it, you know?
Obviously, you're starting to love it. Obviously, there's been an interview which you said you would like to get involved in something like this.
Right.
Is that still a case? Is that something you'd like to do?
I wish I had 58 million followers like the guy I just...
You could do if you did one of these events.
Again, a lot of these events are self-fulfilling, you know. Some of these unknowns will be known after these events. I'm 43 in a few weeks.
Age is just a number, mate. So I'm bigging you up here.
Right, thank you. Look, I train hard. I've got back into the sport. I've let the organiser of this know that if anything in the future I'd be interested. Mams at Misfits, you know, he knows who I am because I drive him mad. But look, it's a great platform. I think I could use it to do some good.
In what way?
Well, kids' cancer charities. Last year, a young girl, Isla, that I was supporting, lost her life, and I promised her mum and dad, you know, her parents, that I would raise some money this year. They asked me if I would jump out of a plane, skydive, and I would rather get in the ring with Mike Tyson than do that. So look, I'm training hard. If one of these platforms gives me a go, Misfits or Kingpin, I'll have Isla's name on my shorts. I'll raise tens of thousands of pounds, and, you know, maybe live a middle-aged fantasy that I'm trying to live at the moment, you know. But I'd love to do it. I love the sport. My dad was a good boxer from the East End, and I'd like to take coach loads of people to Wembley or somewhere, you know, for little old me.
Well, that's a good aspect of that, to be honest. That is a real good message to prove. But in terms of this event now, we'll talk about the fighters on this bill. The male categories, the male qualifiers, who are you most excited to see?
Again, I've come into influencer boxing a little bit late. Now some of the names you know, I know of them now, but I don't know a lot about them. Tom Zanetti is someone, we've got mutual friends, you know. I love him. I think he's a character. I love the fact that, you know, he stood against Slim. He stood there and went toe-to-toe with someone that was technically a lot better than him. He took a lot on the chin. He was growling as he was coming forward. That's almost like my fights when I was 20. I lost. But, you know, I was growling. Everyone said I could have a tear-up. I see that in him, and I think he's great entertainment. I think if they underestimate someone with heart, you know, someone could come unstuck with Tom Zanetti. I like King Kenny, technical. He's being taught by, you know, Daly, who teaches a lot of pros. You can see that in his boxing. He's very pro style, Kenny. But again, he even said on here, he has to let his hands go, he has to throw more. I'm excited to see, you know, what the guy with 58 million followers can do, because he looks a real tough lad, you know. But no, I think it's exciting. I think they're all different fighters. I think it's going to be a really exciting night. I really do.
Finally with this then, this is the Misfits influencer boxing has gone ballistic in the past few years. How long does this last, do you think?
Well, I don't know. I think it's captured a whole new generation. So, you know, my boy's 13. I'm sure for the next 2 or 3 years he's going to be very sort of up on it and excited. Look, for me, I believe it's like the new when we was young, WWF. You know, in the 90s, I wanted to see Hulk Hogan. I wanted to see some of these boxers have got, they've got the opportunity to become world names, not just in their own countries or on YouTube, but world names. And I think it's great for boxing. I can see why the purists get the ump. You know, a few years ago, I was the same. Like, what is this? You know, what are they doing? But it is doing good for the sport. And if you can keep young kids watching the sport and it's regulated right, I think it's fantastic.